Hey guys, this is Tactics, and today I'm just going to be coming to you with a quick little update on how to fly the attack helicopter with the new patch that has been implemented with the new DLC, or Armored Kill. Now, let's first go into the changes that were made. So, to start with, the biggest changes were with the Stinger buffs. They did a double buff where they made it to where the Stinger now shoots up to about a 400-meter range, and the second thing is that it can now shoot at any vehicles below radar. Even though the whole argument between people is that the Stingers were never supposed to be affected by below radar, either way, it can now shoot at any altitude, and pretty much in a range from 400 meters up from the ground up and 400 meters away from where the Stinger is. So you can't fly low to get away from Stingers now. You have to pretty much fly very smart and work with your gunner to do as best as you can. And if you do it properly, you still can dominate on the battlefield. And so we're going to just show some highlights in this video on what you really need to do now. We decided to do Armored Kill map just so people could get a new view on things, and also we decided to do Armored Shield because we thought this would be a perfect map. I want to show more against aircraft such as the choppers and against ground vehicles and infantry than I would against the jets, because it's always going to be the same chopper versus jets. So let's get into this. The other things that we need to take note from this patch is not only did the Stingers get the double buff, but the chopper got some buffs as well. To kind of offset this. For example, rocket pods now do 20 damage to infantry now. So it takes 5 rockets to go ahead and kill an infantry. And the other thing is that the rocket pods also now do more damage to air vehicles, such as the attack chopper and the jets. It does 9 shots with the rocket pod to do a disable on an attack helicopter. Now let's go ahead and go into what we need to do now to be able to be successful in a chopper. So first off, I have my friend Mad Mackie here help me out. He's usually a pilot, but he agreed to go ahead and help me out here just so he could get a quick gameplay. I want to thank him for that. The perks that we need to use at all times, at least in my eyes. This is all subjective, so feel free to try whatever you want until you get that feeling that you have the proper mix. I like to use air radar to begin with. Secondary perk ECM. I think this is the most important perk for me since this new patch. ECM is the only perk that can happen now because there's no more gunner flares. That's the other nerf that happened to the attack chopper, is no more gunner flares. So since only the pilot has the perk to be able to ward off any incoming missiles, you have to know when to use it and how to use it properly. So I use ECM, and here's the reason why. When I'm getting locked on, that means that I have a period of time. Usually what people do with ECM is they hit the ECM as soon as they hear someone walking on so they can try to get away. I don't think that's the proper way to do it. I think the proper way to now actually do this is wait till they actually shoot at you, whether it be a Stinger, whether it be an air-to-air missile, it doesn't matter. Wait till it's shot. Once they shoot at you, hit the ECM and dive to the ground, because that rocket will circle you and hit the ground when you do it properly. And when you use this, it gives you extra seconds to get away. So not only can you engage the enemy for a longer period of time while you're waiting for the missile to be shot, you can also make sure that you buy yourself a few seconds when you escape. So that's 2 pros to doing that properly. The other pro, if you think about it, is they're not always going to be shooting at you with the lock-on. You don't know if it's a laser designator. You don't know sit station SOFLAM. You don't know if someone's just waiting for you to deploy your perk. So it lets you know that the missile's actually coming. So you only know to use it when you really necessarily need to. But as you can see in this little scene right here, I used it after it was already shot. Then you stay low. Fighting air-to-air vehicles is going to be the same. The best way to do it is below radar. It's still an easy fight to do, but now you're much more engaged with the rocket pods than you ever were before in chopper-to-chopper fights. The other thing that you need to take note on is the gunner perks. For the gunner perks, I suggest that a gunner should always use stealth, especially if you're going to have your pilot run air radar, because you're going to need those few seconds extra before you get the lock on if you want to be successful. So stealth is my big thing, not autoloader. Second perk would be thermal, just because it makes it that much easier to spot those infantry that are shooting Stingers at you. And the third perk, in my view, to be very successful, is a TV missile. As you can see, Mackie shoots a TV here and gets the hit. If you have someone that is successful with a TV missile, you can dominate the battlefield. Whether it be shooting the ground vehicles, whether it be shooting air vehicles, it doesn't matter. As you can see here, we're taking on the AC-130, which it takes a few shots with the TV missile to do that, and if they're not using your flares properly, you can just take them out with heat seekers as well. But back to the point. The TV missile, I think, is the best perk that can happen. Just because if you get a gunner that becomes very successful with it, you can engage any enemy necessary. You can sit far back, pick off infantry, pick off the vehicles because it's a one-hit disable. Do not forget that almost all vehicles now are very efficient in using smoke. They're IR smoke, so guided is pretty much a relic. It just doesn't work anymore. So let's keep that in mind, that those are the perks that I think would work the best. And the other thing, you have to look at the battlefield different. Stay on the outside of what you have and work your way in from there. That way, you don't have to worry about, say, their spawn point. You don't want to fly over there because they could spawn on there. They'll have infantry with stingers all there. You want to stay outside and work your way in. And once you find that you're getting locked on, then engage from a different angle. So stay low to the outside, pick off the targets that you need to. When you see flags near you that are being taken, go ahead and work your way over there, help out when necessary. It's picking your fights. That's how you have to fight now. You have to be a smart pilot and pretty much a smart chopper tandem to be successful now. It's all pretty much about just staying alive now. And to do that, you have to make sure that you pick your fights when necessary, stay to the outside, use your perks properly, like the ECM. As you can see throughout this video, I'm using the ECM. Only one time did I get taken out, or did I get hit through the ECM. And just to let you know, Mackie in this game alone went 65 and 8, I went 21 and 7, and half our deaths came from our own TV missile misfiring and killing us. It just goes to show that you can still dominate in the battlefield. So I'm going to cut this off for now. Hope you guys found this information useful. If you have any more questions, please let me know, and I'll be glad to answer them for you. So guys, hope you have a good rest of the day.